Now let's look at how the world is reacting to all of this, the attack by Hamas and its aftermath. How does the world see this? There are protests in support of both Israelis and Palestinians. And again, we say Palestinians and not Hamas because they are not the same. Hamas is a terrorist organization. It planned and executed the brutal attack on October 7th and then retreated into Gaza to use ordinary Palestinians as human shields. Gazans are collateral damage because of Hamas's actions. And that's what many Palestinian supporters are protesting about. But that's the people on the ground. What about their governments? The Israel-Hamas war has divided the world. There are three distinct camps now. First, the West. They firmly back Israel. Second, the nations that condemn Hamas but back Palestinian rights. And third, countries that support Hamas. And there are many of them that support Hamas. Let's tell you about these camps. The Western camp has America and Europe. They support Israel and its right to defend itself. They also do not criticize Netanyahu. They're refraining from doing it. Then the neutral nations, countries like India, they condemn the Hamas attack, but they also advocate for Palestinian rights. They call for a two-state solution, the creation of an independent Palestinian state. And the third group is that of Hamas allies and apologists. Many of these players are in West Asia. The most vocal ones are Iran and Lebanon's Hezbollah group. Also Syria, they're part of what is called the axis of resistance. And they could actually join this fight. Then you have the supporters who do not get their hands dirty, like Qatar. Right after the Hamas attack, this was their statement. It came from Qatar's foreign ministry. It said Israel was solely responsible for the attack, and this was reprisal for Israel's violation of Palestinian rights. Not surprising at all. Qatar is the home base of top Hamas leaders. So, of course, they would take this stand. Then come the other nations who refuse to condemn Hamas. Turkey, Egypt, Algeria, and a host of Muslim-majority nations. They focus on the plight of Palestinians in Gaza, but they offer little sympathy for the slain Israelis. This list includes countries as far away as Southeast Asia. We're talking about the likes of Malaysia. Yesterday, the Malaysian Prime Minister spoke up. His name is Anwar Ibrahim. He lashed out at the West. He said that he rejects Western pressure to condemn Hamas, and that Malaysia has a relationship with Hamas which will continue. That's not all. The Malaysian Prime Minister said that Hamas had won elections in Gaza, so they are a legitimate government. Of course, he failed to mention the fact that those elections were held in the year 2006, and since then, Hamas has not allowed Gazans to vote, most likely fearing that they would be voted out. Anwar Ibrahim's stance does not reflect the suffering of the Palestinians at the hands of Hamas, and it seems like a lazy take on the entire situation. Then you have South Africa, a historical supporter of the Palestinian cause. Their president, Cyril Ramaphosa, made a speech while wearing a Palestinian scarf on Saturday.
They have been under occupation for almost 75 years. And people under occupation who have been waging a struggle against an oppressive government that has occupied their land, but also a government that has in recent times been dubbed an apartheid state.
Ramaphosa said his government had expressed their condolences for both Israelis and Palestinians, but instead of Hamas, it was Israel that was the object of his ire. Same with Colombia. Their president is Gustavo Petro, and he's been trading barbs with Israel. It started with Petro's reaction on the day after the Hamas attack. He said neo-Nazis want the destruction of the Palestinian people. And he compared the Israeli leadership to Nazis. And since then, he's doubled down. When Israel's defense minister compared the people of Gaza to animals, Petro said, that's what Nazis said about Jewish people. He said it was hate speech and it would lead to another Holocaust. Petro's words have infuriated Israel. Colombia's ambassador to Israel was summoned for a reprimand. Israel has also stopped security exports to Colombia. This public rebuke drew another reaction from Petro. He has now threatened to suspend relations with Israel. And the spat looks like it will escalate. It may not be an isolated case. The ongoing conflict is polarizing the entire world, leading us further down the path of instability.